What's going on, guys? My name is Levi, co-owner of MMC Land. We buy and we sell vacant land parcels across the entire United States. And as of 2026, texting is our only outbound marketing channel. So that means no cold calling, no mail, no PPC, just SMS. We are looking to add cold calling very, very shortly, probably in the next 6 to 12 weeks. So I'll probably have an updated video on that in a couple months. But right now we're sending between 75 to 85,000 texts per month consistently. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how that system works and why I'm taking this route in 2026. So of course, if you guys have been following me for a while, I usually advocate for beginners to try a mix of all three, at least for very low ticket parcels. When you do more medium to higher ticket flips, it changes and you want to focus on one. And right now we are targeting a lot of medium to higher ticket parcels. So that's why we are sticking to one channel right now, which is texting. And that's just because we've tested mail. We've of course tested cold calling as well, but texting is the cheapest. It's also the fastest to optimize. It's the easiest to scale. And it's very, very easy to track performance, right? And then when something works, like texting, it just makes sense to go all in, right? Instead of juggling just 5 channels at once. And of course, we'll dig into the weeds there here in a second, but in terms of just a volume breakdown of how we're managing that amount of texts, so there's about 20 to 22 working days per month on average, right? And typically we structure it like Monday through Thursday. We tend to hit about 4,000 texts per day. And then Friday we shoot for 2,750. So that adds up to 18,750 times 4 weeks. You get 75,000 texts. And so Friday is going to be our cool down day. And that's not just because, we're being lazy. It's actually very strategic because that day on Friday gives our employee time to optimize templates moving into the next week. So we're always improving. We get to analyze what we did well and what we didn't do well. Our texter, he gets to upload all of the campaigns for next week. And we also get to track performance. Our texter also gets to communicate with the market researcher to let them kind of know how much data he's going to need for the following week. And then lastly, we're able to have our texter follow up with essentially the strongest leads that maybe just went ghost throughout the week. And so scaling doesn't necessarily mean just blasting nonstop. Of course, most of the time you want to be very consistent on your volume, but sometimes if you don't slow down to kind of optimize, your system will never get better. And so we keep our tech stack very simple. So we use Land Portal for data and skip tracing. We use Smarter Contact for SMS blasting, and we use Stride, the CRM, to manage leads and have automations in the background. In my opinion, Land Portal is going to be the best for pulling data, and we also get a very, very good skip tracing rate, which makes texting actually make sense from an ROI standpoint. Same thing with Smarter Contact. It's going to be the best SMS platform out there. And then in terms of a CRM, you can integrate Smarter Contact into Stride, and so you can export people very easily. It's built off of Go High Level, so of course you have all of the crazy automations and all that stuff that you would need. All of the links to those softwares are in the description below. I'd appreciate it if you guys use them. If you are going to sign up, I get a small chunk of change if you do so. Helps me make free content for you guys, right? And then what happens after the text goes out? So once texts are sent, we don't immediately just hand every lead over to an acquisition manager. That would be horrible. We would waste our time. So instead, what we do is we just ask 1 to 2 qualifying questions. We found that is the sweet spot. If you ask too many questions, you are going to get ghosted. If you ask too few questions, you get too many leads coming in that are bad. And having our texter be able to filter through those leads with just 1 or 2 qualifying questions, it helps protect our acquisition manager's time because we only want them speaking with the best quality leads. And that's why we have such a good close rate. And so you might be asking, how do you pass such good leads through to your acquisitions manager? Well, at 4,000 texts per day, it's not super easy, and you can't comp every single lead. So typically you can ask for an asking price, and then it's honestly very simple to just go and use the Land Portal AI price estimate. And of course, it's not perfect, no, but it's good enough at scale to where if someone's below the estimate, you could push them through and then talk to them on the phone, right? So it just gives us a very quick number that we can use to make a decision and not push through just like obvious junk, right? At this point, speed matters more than perfection. And so the acquisition manager will just do a deeper evaluation of the property after. And then of course, because Friday is our sort of rest and recalibration day, we are constantly testing new things. So like every single week, we have new templates, new openers, we're trying different follow-ups. That's just because we can't run the same things forever and expect to get better. We want to keep optimizing slowly and steadily, but we're also at the same time trying to give our templates enough time and enough of a sample size to make sure that maybe we just got unlucky one day, right? We want to make sure that we're not just getting unlucky and that the template actually sucks before we change it. And that's why texting works so well, because you can change things daily or weekly, right? It's not like mail where you're waiting 30 days just for things to hit the mailbox, and then you're waiting 3 months for responses to finally understand why your mail campaign didn't hit. Maybe it's because you priced wrong. Maybe it's because you got unlucky. It's hard to know with mail, but with texting, it's not hard to know at all because you get feedback in real time right away. And so in terms of the actual numbers on this system, with this system, we average a deal every maybe 8 to 9 offers we send. And that's pretty strong for this industry. But the reason is, obviously our acquisition manager is pretty good at what he does. But I think a large part of it is just because we are actually qualifying leads well. We're not trying to waste our time with garbage leads. And so we protect our acquisitions manager's time with that fact, right? And the system will really only work if you guys have an efficient texter. That's the start of the process. And if your texter is not good at his job, you guys won't have good results. You guys also have to have solid macros for responses. And you also need to be very quick as well. You guys need to send enough volume, right? If you guys aren't sending at least 25,000 texts per month, you're probably not going to succeed with texting. And so the results aren't magic. It's just a lot of math and calculating, plus systems, right? And that's pretty much it, guys. If you have a strong system, you will be able to make lots of offers and close lots of deals. If you guys want an exact breakdown of our texting SOPs, there is a link to my school community down in the description below where you get a much deeper dive on how we do business. And of course, if you guys liked the video, make sure you actually leave a like on the video, comment any questions you have, or if you liked anything about the video, and of course, subscribe. I will see you guys in the next one.